Hey guys, what's up? So today we've got an interesting little video for you. I will say you'll probably hear the rain on the roof. It is raining right now, but we're in the bus, so I figured I'd go ahead and film it anyways. So yesterday was a very exciting day. If you haven't seen the photos or the post on the community tab, I found two old Lebanon buses. So the way this happened, Thursday morning of this past week, I was scrolling through Marketplace. I saw a picture that just showed like the back half of the driver's side of a older Wayne, and then I saw part of schools on it. So I thought, okay, let me look at this, see what it is, and I thought to myself, what if that says Lebanon schools on it? You know, like that would just be crazy. So I click on it, and lo and behold, it says Lebanon schools on it. Because it was a bus old enough that it would have said Lebanon schools instead of Lebanon city schools. So anyways, so the bus in the picture was our old 24. I'm fairly sure that it was a 69 model, because the production date of the body was in August of 69. And I don't think back then they really did the whole model year newer than it is thing. So I'm just going to go with it being a 69 model. And my best guess for this bus, as well as the other bus we'll talk about here in a minute, is that our current 24 would be the fourth, at least the fourth 24. I mean, it's possible there could have been a 24 before this one, but I personally feel like this bus was the first 24, since our fleet, I mean, this was in the late 60s, so we probably didn't have 24 buses before that point. But anyway, so you probably have this bus 24. You have something that replaced it, which would probably have been something late 70s, early 80s maybe. And then the second 24 probably would have been around until Laidlaw came in. And that's why my guess is really something from the 80s probably replaced that bus. Could have been late 70s, but I don't know. I wasn't there. So then you had the Amtran 24. So that's your third 24. And then, as we all know, we have the 2023 CE 24. So that's kind of the way I'm thinking, and it probably goes the same with the other bus. The other bus I ended up finding is 25, ironically 24 and 25. 25 was a Superior Loadstar. Now, I'm not sure on the exact model year of this one. I just know that it's a little bit newer than 24 was, just because of the different international branding that was on it. So I was able to save a few emblems off of these buses. These buses are, to make a long story short, I found them on a listing for an estate sale. I went to an estate sale to see them. So they will eventually be sold for scrap, I'm sure. And that's why I wanted to, go photograph them and try to get a few things off of them just to have. So first we'll go ahead and look at the emblems I pulled off of 24. And 24 was the bus that I made the trip for, because honestly I didn't know for sure that there would be, I mean, I knew there were 3 buses total, but I didn't know if the other 2 would be Lebanon buses or not. So this is the emblem right here that I wanted, really, that I made the trip for, aside from seeing the bus. So this is the old Wayne logo, like Wayne emblem. So this would have been on the back bumper. You can tell it's a little bent up, and that's mainly because I had to bend it up a little bit to get it off. So eventually I will hammer it back into place as best I can to get it flat again. But the bolts that were holding it on were pretty rusted, and they were not coming loose. So I went ahead and did what I could with it. You probably see there's a raindrop on it from when I walked on the bus. But anyways, so there's the W. This would have all been red originally. You can see remnants of the red paint, like right, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it should be right there. There's red paint. So this would have been red, and I think this right here would have been white or silver, like this. So this is my first Wayne emblem of this era, and I mean, the fact that it came off of one of our old buses is even better. Right here we've got the body tag. So this says Wayne Division of the Wayne Corp, Richmond, Indiana. So date of manufacturer, as you can see, 8/26/69. Vehicle identification number ended in 127885. Type of vehicle, bus. And then it says, the manufacturer certifies that this motor vehicle meets all applicable federal motor vehicle safety standards in effect on the date of manufacture. So this, I mean, this is a very thin, like, metal piece. Honestly, I was surprised I was able to get it off. The only reason I was probably able to get it to come off was because this part was peeled off the bus, and I was able to take one of my paint scrapers and just kind of scrape it off. So that's really cool. This is, of course, the body build plate. This tells you the model, and then this is definitely the build. I don't know what they would have called it, but 869 tells you when it was built, so August of 69. It's a Model C, and then there's the last 6 of the serial. So there's the old Wayne logo for the W, model, Wayne Division, Richmond, Indiana, USA, serial, and then the Wayne at the bottom. So this plate is held into the bulkhead with screws, so that's one of the reasons I was able to get it off the bus. So that's awesome. The next thing that comes from that bus is the International Harvester, like the VIN plate. So this I didn't even take off. Kyra took this off. She went with me. She did do a vlog, which I will include that. I shared it through my community post, but I'll also link it to this video somehow for you guys to go see. But International Harvester Company, Chicago, Illinois. There's the IH, model number 1853. The serial is there, but it's kind of hard to read. Let's see, I think it's 43660003672336. I think that's what that is. That one number might be a 5. Wheelbase 254. Down below that, it's got the certified horsepower at 22750 RPMs, and then it has certified horsepower at 3200 RPMs. For this one, it's 171.7, and then that one is 193.1, I think. Max GVW pounds is 24,000, and then it doesn't say anything over here, I don't think. Underneath that, it says warranty void if above weight is exceeded, except as restricted by tires and springs, made in the United States of America. So that's your VIN plate. Pretty cool. I did also save the hood emblems. These Loadstar emblems were kind of a pain in the butt to get off, but I got both sides that said Loadstar 1853, so obviously that's the model. And different models would have had different numbers. And then I was able to save these beautiful old style cursive international emblems. So I mean, that by itself just tells you how old this bus was. I always loved this style of international emblem. And I just, you know, I'm glad that International, with their new rebranding, they've brought back this style of logo on a lot of their merch you can get on their website. So this one was from the driver's side of the hood. Of course, it's a butterfly hood, so that was the first one. Now the second one, while I was taking it off, unfortunately the letter L broke off, so it just says International. But I do have the L at least, so, you know, you could, I guess, maybe you could possibly glue it back together and it'd say International. But I do have both pieces if I want to try to fix it. So these are the emblems from bus 24. Now I'm going to push them back just a little bit so we can get these other emblems from 25. 25, being a Superior, obviously had Superior coach emblems on it. Now the sucky thing, and this wasn't my first time messing with a Superior, trying to get emblems off of it. The screws that held in the old style Superior coach emblems that would go next to the door and on the back of the bus, they were tiny, and a lot of the times they would get corroded and just would be too far gone. So I was not able to get any of those off of that bus. Unfortunately, I would have loved to, but the screws were just, you know, too far gone, and I did not have a small enough screwdriver. I don't know why I didn't think of that when I was preparing this, because it wasn't like I hadn't taken Superior emblems off of a Superior before. But either way, thanks to Kyra, I was able to get the Loadstar emblems off the hood. She actually took them off for me. So these are, you can tell they're kind of eaten up. Like the chrome is like, I don't know what you'd call that, but it's seen better days. So Loadstar 1853, just like the other one. So that's one, and then we have Loadstar 1853, so that would have been on the hood, obviously, and then you would have had these two smaller international emblems that are unfortunately, you know, kind of, I don't know, again, what you call that, but all torn up or damaged, we'll say. So I at least have those parts from that bus. So all in all, I mean, just a really cool thing. It is not something I thought I was going to get to see. I knew of the older Waynes, and I knew that we had Superiors from yearbook photos, but I did not expect to see, you know, one of those Superiors and one of those older Waynes in person. I thought that by now they were all long gone, but, you know, it ended up being that one of each was tucked in somebody's property just about an hour and 15 minutes away from me, so I got to go check them out. Again, awesome experience just to see those buses, and if you want to see the photos of them, they are on my Flickr. I wanted to film a video of the buses themselves, but it just didn't work out because there were a lot of people there because it wasn't a state sale, and I just wouldn't have gotten to film how I would have wanted to film it, so that's why I didn't get a video. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think, and yeah.